Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Rilus Dana. It's another free Friday webinar. Welcome to everyone watching live. We welcome your questions if you're watching live. You can leave a comment on some of the topics you'd like to hear us go over today. We've been doing this since May, so kind of getting into a rhythm. Let me share my screen here. The streams, they're still loose. That's what's fun about the live format. It's on the go, but at least it's real and it's raw that way. So if you have any questions related to estate planning, I welcome those. I have a lot of, not a lot, but some people watch from Pace Morby's YouTube channel and his Facebook group. So if you have questions related to probate and estate planning, this is a great show today. Some of the members in that group shared it. Tristan shared it. Thanks, Tristan, for sharing this link to the live show today. So yeah, today, this is Free Friday webinar sponsored by Dana & Associates. It's where I practice law, powered by Mott Legal. You'll see in the corner there, Mott Legal is our brand of estate planning. We're getting ready to roll that out to other attorneys, letting them practice the same way that we do with our digital asset trust and specific digital asset planning strategy that we utilize as part of our plans. So let's get into it today. So I guess before we get into it, actually, I want to review. Last week had a great show with Scott Fisher from Options for Senior Living. It was our live pro network show. So on that show is where I bring in a guest and we talk about something usually related to estate planning or the legal industry in some way, and have a live discussion. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. We're doing that every other week. So this show, the webinar Friday, is every other week, and the other show I'll have a guest. Next week, I'm really excited to sit down or to be with Billy virtually. We're going to have a great conversation. She's from Modern Law. We have a lot in common. She practices in family law, but she's also very involved in coaching other attorneys like I am in Mott Legal. And Billy was a part of the Arizona getting this new law that we're gonna have next year, letting non-attorneys practice law, which I think is a great thing. I know it's been divided. It's been a hot issue. I posted about it on my Facebook page, and there were some divided opinions. I'm really excited about it. So I'm excited to talk to Billy next week from Modern Law. So tune into that. We'll be live a little bit later than usual. We're going live at 1:30. She has her team meeting that week, which I can appreciate. We have ours on a repeating schedule. So I know this Friday, 12 o'clock Pacific time doesn't work for everyone. So we may have different times when we go live, but try to keep it close to the same time, or may adjust to another time if there's something that works better for everyone that you could tune into and works for me to be able to go live. Okay. So let's get into it. So what I like to do in this show, the Webinar Friday show, is talk about some legal topics that come up during the week or relevant topics that we're seeing. So last week was a heavy show. We had 3 big topics. We talked about prenups and marriage plans, refi options, and fixing bad irrevocable trusts. So I'll hit those really quick. If you want more in depth on those topics, go back to last week on the YouTube, Facebook. We got the last week's show where we talked deeper on those. Today's topic, another good one. This is something that we get asked a lot. Common question I get asked a lot. It's what to do if you are a trustee and or the personal representative. So this is a great topic for people in the real estate business, wholesale business, just to help you understand the overarching process of an estate, how to approach it. I'm going to go over my process, how I approach it, the outline that we do. All right, so marriage plans, let's touch on those. There's value in having a written agreement, and it's focused on the success of the relationship. So it protects both parties. And what I call a marriage plan, it's not just a prenup, the premarital agreement. It also includes an estate plan. And like I said before, it's focused on the success of the relationship. So there's value in having a writing if you're getting married. Also, if you're cohabitating with someone or buying a property together. Sometimes we see a lot of multi-generation families, like parents and kids buying houses together, siblings. So same type of idea. It's good to have writing. So, okay, marriage plans, give us time to do it. You want an attorney for each party and schedule a signing date. So time, come to us, the more time before the marriage, the better. If you're gonna buy a house with your kid or your brother, come to us before that, ideally, not when it's in escrow and it's already closing and you've already put, $500,000 down or whatever it is. It's easier to talk about these things before. So refi considerations, interest rates super low. If you're refining and your property's in trust, you'll want to remove the property from trust. Ask the title company if they can do that for you. Make sure you put back in the trust after the refi is complete. This is just kind of something I get a little annoyed with. I want to help out our clients as much as possible, but I just don't have the time built into our process to jump in and do a deed and transfer it right away, or to get correspondence back to the title company. So if these title companies are asking you for an attorney opinion letter, they should put that on them to get it. They usually have an attorney's so they can give that to you. And just providing them with your trust should be enough to do that. Fixing bad irrevocable trust, really cool topic. It's possible if a trust is irrevocable, there's still ways to fix it. You can't change beneficiaries or the intentions of the trust, but you can follow those original intentions. You can add a supplemental needs trust, also called a special needs trust, to preserve government benefits and protect beneficiaries that are receiving those. You can also add a dynasty trust, asterisk. It's possible. It's not really proven. I think it's possible. Maybe it's better to do it beforehand, but it may be possible to do it after the fact. Each situation is different. Requires attorneys to make recommendations with little precedent. California just got a law to do this in 2019. So I had an experience where I represented, I got involved, and I was trying to get the attorney in California who was representing the California trustee to use the decanting statute in 2019, and they wouldn't do it because they wanted to see some precedent first. 2011, we've been doing it in Arizona that long, and the OGs before that. So there is some history to this, something I've been aware of for a while, something we've been doing since 2011 in Arizona, and California allowed for it in 2019. So that's a nice tool we have in our bag, in our tool bag. Okay, so today's main topic that I want to get into is what to do if you're the trustee and/or personal representative. So this is the process that I go through whenever we take a call from someone, whenever we get an email regarding an estate. So number one is define the players, and so you have decedent as the first person. First player we'll define, which is the dead person. Fiduciary, we use this green visor in our videos. That's who's in charge. And the beneficiary, who gets the stuff, who's going to receive it. It could be multiple beneficiaries. Okay, so next, so you're going to figure out who the players are. Then next you want to look at what are the assets. What are you dealing with? Are there IRAs or retirement accounts? Is there life insurance, a bank account, a house, real estate? So after you figure out what the assets are, liabilities are also important as well, but it's more important, first you want to see what assets there are, and then let's look at what controls the assets. So the IRAs and life insurance, probably going to have a beneficiary designation. That's a contract. That'll be controlling, and that will designate who is the beneficiary, who receives those. Now, the house, if it's titled in the name of the deceased, it's said to be in their estate. So it's part of their estate, titled in the name of the deceased person. If there's a trust and a bank account is titled in the name of the trust, that will be controlling. So third step, what controls the assets? It could be a beneficiary contract. It could be controlled by the estate or by a trust, are the typical options. Okay, so the estate, if there's a last will and testament, that will be controlling. So if there's a house or bank account titled in the name of a deceased person, you see what controls their estate. A last will and testament is a document that controls the estate. It names the beneficiaries and the trustee, or the fiduciary, but in the last will and testament, it's called the personal representative. Okay, so what do you do if there's no will? Don't worry, Uncle Sam's got you covered. So if there's no last will and testament, or if there's not a beneficiary named on the life insurance, there's no beneficiary listed on the retirement account, or maybe there was one beneficiary, but they passed away and there was not a second person listed. So then we look at the laws of intestacy, is what it's called, to determine who the beneficiaries are and who has priority to serve as a personal representative. So that's what we do if something's in the estate. It'll either be controlled by the last will and testament, or if there's no will, we look at the laws to figure out who the beneficiaries are and who has priority to serve as a personal representative. Now, it may need a probate to really appoint the person over the estate, depending on the value. We have some more videos about probate. I'm not going to get too deep in that today. Unless anyone has questions about probate, they want to hear more, leave a comment. I can show specifically how the probate works. Okay, so the trust, that will name the fiduciary, which is called the trustee in the trust. And the trust will name the beneficiaries. So after you do all of those things, then follow the instructions. So we got to figure out what controls. It's either in a trust, in the estate, or the contracts. So then you want to follow the instructions. So now this is a question I get a lot. What do you do if you are the trustee and or the personal representative? And I hate to give just the the depends answer, but that's the first steps you got to go through. See what's controlling, and then see what the document says, and then follow the contracts. If there's no documents, or if they leave it, they leave something out, then you're looking at the state laws to determine what to do. So those are the instructions. So I'm really trying to answer that question, what to do if you're the trustee or personal representative, as literally as possible. So that's how you get control of an estate or a trust and figure out what controls it. And then next is follow the instructions. The overall duty that you have, a fiduciary duty. What a fiduciary duty is when you're managing assets for the benefit of someone else, you have to take really good care of them. You have to take even better care than your own assets. So what that comes down to is, it may be simple in some cases, but it's not always easy in deciding how to manage assets. For example, maybe there's a house and a bank account and some stocks, and there's 7 beneficiaries. How do you split those things? What do you do? Do you sell the house? Things like that. What if someone is living in the house? So those types of issues come up, and overall, what you do is you follow that fiduciary duty standard and you follow the documents. Now, I recommend legal counsel. I am an attorney. There's a lot of things I will show you how to do yourself. We're really honest with people and tell them what needs to be done. But what legal counsel can do is we can advise how to uphold that fiduciary duty, make sure you don't get sued. So when we first start with a trustee, when someone calls us or we have a virtual meeting, I'll go through that process, figure out who the players are, what's controlling, what are the assets, and then I ask more questions, about the beneficiaries. What's the family dynamic? Things like that to get an idea of the big picture and what's going on. And then what we do, we advise as attorneys and service providers, we advise on how to handle that situation. So some of the value that we provide is to determine valid debts and negotiate debts. So reasons why you might hire an attorney as opposed to just do it yourself. Even if you have the time to take it on, unless it's something that you're experienced in and you're doing regularly, you might not realize that there's opportunities to negotiate debts and things like that. And then also to utilize tax planning. In parentheses, asset protection. We do everything as tax planning. Asset protection is a nice bonus of being that protected from lawsuits and creditors. It's commonly known as asset protection. Really, we do everything as estate tax planning. That's how it works. That's the, I guess, kind of the legal structure it's built on. So that's what I want to focus on is the tax planning. So there could be opportunities if you're a beneficiary of the trust to take advantage of tax planning options at that time. So that's good reason to hire legal counsel. Now, with the new laws in Arizona coming next year, allowing non-attorneys to practice law, it's really it's been interesting, the discussion. My take on it, we'll talk more about it with Billy next week, but I feel like attorneys need to provide service. And this new law, there's going to be new options, I think, which are going to be great. There's like a new certified paralegal, I forget the official name. There's a new option that can go to court in Arizona. So what this does, it's going to give the public more options of service to choose. I feel like that's good to give the public more options, and it's going to separate lawyers who have been trained and have seen these areas and seen these things on a high level. So I believe that there's still going to be a demand for that. But if you're an attorney, as long as you're providing good service, these new laws are going to be great. And yeah, it's a new chance to change the practice of law, which I think is exciting. I'll go to our website. So if you're wanting, let me share it over here. Okay, so this is our website, danalegalhelp.com. And we call the process a family administration session, where if you're seeking out guidance, if you are the trustee or personal representative, so our website here is a good resource. Click on that button, family administration session. These names are long, but I try to be as literal as possible. So administration in our world means someone died or someone is incapacitated. So we need to administer the trust and or estate if there's assets in the name of that individual person or in the name of their estate if they passed away. So this gives guidance, and there's a lot of resources here. Like, if you want to know what a beneficiary is, click on that, and takes you over here. There's a lot of videos answering those questions. So back to the family administration session. So give us a call. All our contact is down here. You can always give us a call. You can text us. You can email us, fax us even. And then we'll go through that information, that outline of what's going on, and then we'll schedule a virtual meeting, or first you'll talk to one of our receptionists, and then one of our paralegals. They'll help you figure out the situation, and then they'll get a hold of me. They'll schedule time for me to either give you a call or have a meeting with you to discuss your situation. Now, after the meeting or during the meeting, we'll quote you a fee. I'll go ahead and share my fee agreement, maybe. Yeah, here we go. I have it ready. Or maybe I don't. Anyways, so I don't have our fee agreement there, but what we'll do is we'll give you a general idea of what needs to be done, and then we can quote you a flat fee of what it is to get us started. And yeah, so we'll give you ideas of what it looks like, that fiduciary duty, things you might need to be cautious of, and then that will also determine as well. If there's a bunch of beneficiaries, if there's like sticky situations that we're looking at, that could affect our fees. But we can usually quote you a flat fee on that first initial meeting. Other thing I want to point out on our website, I'll go to our YouTube channel here. You'll see live now. These other videos that we've done. So these other subjects, you can go back and watch those. We talked about what to do if you're an executor a couple months ago as well. Comes up quite a bit, this topic. Always trying to make it easier, answer this question for more people. And I've also created, it came up on my screen, it's a document of, we're going to put in our binders a little outline of this, of what to do if you are the trustee. And we're also going to include some other materials as well as fiduciary duty and a memo to the successor trustee about things that you should look out for, and explaining what it means to be the successor trustee. So always improving our binders. There'll be a new video coming out this week about our binders. We want to keep them skinny, keep them efficient, but also make them a really good tool to answer the common questions and be really helpful. So you can go to our YouTube page for those other videos, or reach out to us any of those ways if you want a family administration session, is what we call it, for your family. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone that watched live. We got some comments here. Yeah, thanks for the comments. We appreciate it. If you want to see certain topics, leave a comment. Next week, tune in. I'll be with Billy from Modern Family, or from Modern Law, actually. She's a family law attorney in Arizona. So excited about that show. And thanks everyone for watching live, watching in the future, and take care. Bye.